testing, how do you convince, so it's back to the silver bullet automation, I'm afraid, but how do you convince stakeholders that automating everything does not equal better quality software, as the teams will spend more time writing automation than actual testing? So probably definitely going to move into a little bit of,
Mm.
automation versus testing kind of angle, but also, yeah, let's role play it. Nicola, I want you to fully automate all our tests. That's your main objective for the next week, for the next month, let's say. I'll give you a bit more time. So yeah, I'm your stakeholder. What are you going to say to me?
So, but I need to also test these new features that we're going to release soon. How would you like me to go about that? I can't do that and automate everything.
Well, I think you could just, why can't you just automate them at the start? Like, why just automate it from the beginning? As soon as it's written, automate it.
I could do that, but then I couldn't automate everything. I could add an automated test for the new features I'm building, but you're asking me to automate everything.
But I saw this talk last week that said if you automate everything, it's going to make everything better and quicker, and then my quality is going to increase. So is that not the case?
Technically, I would then ask more questions about your context. I'd say, so did the presenter talk a bit about how they currently work? Did they set automation up from the start?
Oh no, it was pure, like, basically everything can be done this way. It was nice marketing, shiny slides promising me that everything could be brilliant.
Could you share a link with me to this presentation? And because then that's actually, I would circle back, because I'd say, because I need to first also check what have you heard. So then I would probably want to watch the whole presentation, but I would ask that. And then, because now what I would do is focus on tackling all the fallacies that arose as part of that presentation.
Yeah.
There, but it's harder to tackle when I'm hearing it secondhand. And then
I don't have a presentation. Yeah. I made it.
Yeah, I know. But then I would to answer Lynn's question, making sure I manage the expectations around, like, automation is about things staying the same. So it says, well, yes, if things weren't changing and you were to keep things still for a while and you didn't want to add new features, then yes, we could spend all this time automating to start with. Yeah. So that's one thing you I would say. Chances are, I'm going to assume you're in a context where things are going to be added. So I would say it's not that there's no value in automation, but you do need to be smart about it. And then thinking long term, there's also a cost to maintaining. So there's like a really great talk. Because you don't want to automate even, there's a really great talk by, I think, Joao on deleting tests.
Yep.
And I actually am quite I don't like having lots of automation or lots of documentation. I'm quite minimalistic, like as little as possible, but as much as needed is actually my general approach. And then, so as soon as I understand that automation is about doing the same thing, testing itself is about discovering new information. So saying that they're actually tackling two different problems. So you can use automation to tackle one problem, but then you're actually not addressing the issue of changes and of new features at all with automation, except for the regression part, I guess.
Again, I think that's a great summary answer. Find out what their beliefs are. Find out, why it is they believe that, automation can, be solve all their problems. And then I think what you said though there, at the start of the role play, we stopped the role play, but at the start of it, finding out, where have their beliefs come from. If they do mention that they've seen this or that, or they've spoken to this other person, try and get some of that information out of them. And then I think the really clever thing that you mentioned though is offering them up a problem that can't be solved with automation. And finding out, again, that's a great opportunity for them to either go, okay, you've got me, or they're going to double down on a very similar message, which is again going to give you even more information to start. As you said, I think the one thing you said as well about going away to formulate a response is also very powerful. Because in the moment, you're not going to be as coherent and as concise as you probably want to be. So getting the info, going away, formulating a response. Because most testing experts or experienced testers know that this is not possible. This is a myth. This is a massive fallacy. But we also know, as I joke, that marketing for a lot of tool vendors, let's say, or a lot of consultancies pushes this message. So I think what you've said there is great about just taking your time, understand where they're coming from, formulate a response, and then deliver it. And we could probably do a whole hour role play.
And it's not easy because it's like if you said there's like a market of like people who are trying to paint this message.
Absolutely.
So again, you have to like you can't disregard their beliefs. You can't just say, "Oh, you're wrong," because if they've gotten what they believe to be credible sources sending out that message, then it's going to take effort to. And it might not just take one conversation. It could take multiple. This is something that Lynn may have to work on over time as opposed to having one conversation.
Well, you said it yourself at the very start of the AMA. You can't just say no. You can't just tell people they're wrong, right? You've got to relate to them because then, as you said, you want another answer. There's a running theme through this whole AMA. You want to take people on that journey. So as far as they're concerned, they think they're on this journey of you automate everything, but you know that their journey's still going. So the more that you learn, the more you can then take them on a journey by offering up problems that's going to help them go, actually, maybe you're right. You're the expert here. If you've got that trust, if you've got that domain knowledge, that expertise, then you can hopefully start to convince them. And as again, more answers you've said, start tailoring that comms to people a little bit. Maybe it's a doc, maybe it's a presentation, maybe it's a conversation, but start working on that process of trying to, educate them again. So yeah, absolutely awesome, Nicola. Thank you so much.